Hey everyone, welcome back to Mental Groove. Today we're diving into another thought-provoking video from the late Kevin Samuels. As always, if you enjoy content that challenges perspectives and sparks real conversation, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. I'll be saving my full commentary for the end, so stick around, you won't want to miss my take on this one. Let's jump right into the video.
You see the question on the floor. Are you single or are you married?
Currently single.
So you're married. Okay, so how important is sex to you in a relationship? When choosing a long-term partner?
Sex, I feel like is one of the least important things in a relationship. It's underneath everything else, honestly, in my opinion. I've dealt with a lot of men that I guess were kind of like sex addicts in a way. And I just, I feel like it's...
Okay, hold on. I need you to leave the phone steady, okay? There you go. Go ahead.
So the men I've dealt with in the past, I guess, some of them, I just feel like, especially men my age, are kind of addicted to sex. And as a woman, I feel like I can handle that on my own. I really don't need the relationship to be controlled by your penis or by, my parts. I really personally don't care. My most recent relationship, I dealt with him for 9 months, and we probably had sex a total of 4 times. And towards the end of the relationship, I'm not gonna lie.
4 times over 9 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you said some things that I'm gonna chime back on. You said men your age seem to be addicted to sex. Now it's called testosterone. They're not addicted. Men are hardwired to want sex. And one of the big problems is so many women today are so disconnected from who we are as men, y'all shame us for being naturally men. We produce millions of sperm. You come preloaded with your eggs. We wake up with an erection. We can have sex several times a day. Now, I can understand it not being a priority, but if you say you were in a relationship for 9 months and you had sex 4 times, many people want to have sex 4 times a week.
So his pitch was that he was doing a semen, what's it called? A semen retention?
Okay, but you chose to accept it.
I did.
Okay, so are you good in bed?
I think so. I don't want to. Yes.
Well, see, why? I'm going to ask all you women, are you good in bed? How do you know you're good in bed?
The responses that I get, the way I feel during sex, the way they feel afterwards, during.
Because they have an orgasm?
They do every time. I don't.
Well, that's how men are, but man, that's how men are wired. I'm trying to balance the conversation, but many women, young or old, y'all are very arrogant when it comes to your sexual performance. So because a man has an erection because he has an orgasm, y'all think y'all are good in bed. Do you make room for the possibility that you are below average in bed?
Yeah.
But then why would you say you're good?
I don't go promoting. I'm not one of those that's but.
Have you ever met a woman who said she wasn't good in bed? Excuse me. Have you ever met a black woman who never? Okay.
Mm-mm.
So do you think that's reasonable? Do you think that's rational? Do you think every woman you've ever met, you think all women are good in bed?
I think that's a stupid question.
Who the fuck you talking to?
Do you think?
Who the fuck you talking to? Hold on. Who you think you're talking to?
I didn't mean to. I was just saying, I think in general, when men ask that question, it's just, what's the answer you're looking for?
Self-awareness that you ain't the shit, trick. Watch who you talking to. I was polite, but to say it's a stupid question minimizes men. How come it's okay for you women to question whether or not a man is good in bed? and that's completely fine. You got to have an anaconda, girl. Women can talk about size, girth, length, sexual prowess, what he must do, and that's completely okay. But if a man simply asks, "Are you proficient?" that's stupid. Let's reset the table, okay? Watch what you say, though. That's just rude. And you're 23. You can't talk to me that way. But let's just say you're a mother one day, okay? And you have a son. Would you want women to think about his concerns the way you just addressed men's concerns?
My son's concerns?
Yeah, if you wanted, if you asked a woman if she was good in bed, you said, "Don't ask a woman that, son. That's a stupid question." Would you tell that to your son?
I just feel like I'm going to teach my sons not to think with their dick, you know?
So you're going to teach your son to not be a man?
Not to let his decisions be influenced by his...
Man, I'm not trying to be rude, but you are so wrong here. And this is the part of the problem in our community. You can't teach men to not, you want your son to be a girl.
Absolutely.
So do you understand what male sexual desire is?
I do.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
Really? So what are you talking about? Teaching him to not think with his dick. Our dick is the reason you got cars and air conditioning. What I'm trying to get you to understand is so many of you women are so dismissive of men when it comes to who we are. But then y'all talk about toxic masculinity. This is toxic femininity. But y'all don't see it that way. So let's get back to it. You said you had sex 4 times in 9 months, and you guys were in a committed relationship?
To me, yeah. It was exclusive. But
let me go ahead and help you out.
it was exclusive, but he tried to pitch the semen retention kind of thing, and I went for it because I personally agree. I believe that when men withhold an erection, I guess it keeps you more focused and all these things. You know what they be saying. But after months, went by, like weeks would go by. I'm not one to care. I don't throw my body on people, but after I've been dealing with one person for so long, it was just kind of like, are you not attracted to me? Are you not, you know what I mean? Like it was
No, I don't know. What I'm not understanding is what on one hand, you're saying you're okay with him practicing this semen retention stuff in the context of a relationship. And then in another breath, you're talking about it made you feel insecure.
Yeah, I took it back after a while because it dragged on.
But man, I'm talking about how high the sex rank in a relationship. And to me, what I'm hearing is we don't even, in the context of this, y'all don't even know what a healthy sex life is. And that's part of the problem. A lot of young people, we expect y'all to be more mature, and 4 times in 9 months, there was no reason to have 4 times in 9 months in a committed relationship. That's crazy. That's not a healthy sex life.
Yeah.
So, were you raised with mom and dad?
Yes, both parents.
How long were they married?
20 years, they're still married.
So, if you're married, how often would you like to have sex with your husband? How frequently?
I could go for once a day, once every other day. That seems healthy and normal to me.
For a lifetime.
A lifetime?
So let's just say over a 10-year period. Let's just say over a decade. The first decade, how often would you like to have sex?
The first decade, I feel like, once a day would be healthy.
Once a day, so that's 365 days a year.
Say that again, I'm sorry. Cut off.
Children?
Yeah, I plan on having children.
Okay. How's that going to be possible?
I'm kind of fertile. I mean, I'm not going to say that.
But ma'am, I just need, I mean, see, what I'm trying to get you to understand is, and it's not your fault, but women, y'all don't think about it. Y'all just say stuff. Y'all don't think about the numbers and the logistics. And I'm like, 300, you have your cycle once a month. Mm-hmm. You're talking about pregnancy, but you're saying, so if a man wanted to marry you, and you wanted to marry that man, and you set the expectation of having sex once a day, and then you fell off of that and it became half as frequent, would that be okay?
For that, I guess it depends whose decision it is, if I'm being honest.
Why would it depend on who decides? If a man sets an expectation he's going to do something and he turns around and does half of it, is that ever okay?
Nope.
Thank you. See, what I'm showing folks is women don't put any thought into who we are. You guys set expectations based upon how you feel in the moment. And men are just supposed to adjust it. Ladies, listen to me well. You guys need to start understanding who men are sexually and what we're capable of. And then understand that when we get with you, one of the men's biggest fears is that they'll get with you and you'll cut off sex. And I'll be honest, man, the way you're talking, whether you intend it or not, women who like you men have the experience that women like you tend to use sex as a weapon.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, it may not be you, but my goal is to have you ladies understand who men are. But you say sex isn't that important, but then you say you want to have it once a day. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
I'm not gonna lie, the once a day part would really be just to satisfy my man. I could go months.
Okay. Well, yeah. All right. Have a good day, man.
The contemporary dating landscape has become a battleground of conflicting expectations, unspoken rules, and profound misunderstandings between men and women. Few voices have sparked as much controversy in this discourse as the late Kevin Samuels, whose unfiltered critiques of modern women, particularly young black women, garnered both fervent support and vehement opposition. Kevin Samuels engages with a young woman who articulates a sentiment increasingly common among her peers: frustration with the perceived hypersexuality of young men and the scarcity of meaningful commitment. I provide a comprehensive reaction to the video, dissecting the arguments presented, evaluating Samuel's rhetorical approach, and situating the discussion within broader sociological and psychological context. By examining the interplay of biology, culture, and economics in shaping modern relationships, this analysis seeks to move beyond polarizing rhetoric and toward a more nuanced understanding of why so many young people find themselves disillusioned with dating in the 21st century. The 23-year-old woman at the center of the discussion voices a complaint echoed across social media platforms and dating forums that men her age are primarily interested in sexual conquest rather than emotional connection. Her argument rests on several key observations. She perceives that men prioritize physical intimacy early in interactions, often at the expense of building emotional bonds. Many men, she argues, feign romantic interest to secure sexual access before disappearing. She laments that men who are both emotionally available and financially stable seem rare in her dating pool. Her frustrations reflect a growing sentiment among young women who feel that hookup culture has left them emotionally unfulfilled while granting men disproportionate power in romantic dynamics. Samuels, true to form, dismantles her position with characteristic bluntness. His rebuttal hinges on several provocative claims. He asserts that men's heightened sexual drive, particularly in their 20s, is an immutable biological fact rather than a social pathology. He argues that the woman, while young and presumably attractive, may lack the maturity, domestic skills, or personal achievements that would incentivize high-status men to commit. Samuels suggests that our pattern of attracting sexually motivated men may stem from her own selection criteria or behavioral cues. He implies that modern women's rejection of traditional femininity, e.g. nurturing homemaking, while still expecting traditional male provision, creates an unsustainable double standard. Samuel's argument, while abrasive, forces a critical examination of whether contemporary dating struggles stem from systemic issues or individual choices. Samuel's style is deliberately provocative, designed to elicit strong emotional reactions. This approach has merits. Ahem. Many individuals harbor unrealistic dating expectations shaped by social media and popular culture. Samuel's harsh tone serves as a corrective to these fantasies. The shock value of his delivery ensures widespread dissemination, forcing these conversations into mainstream discourse. While his message may resonate with some, others dismiss him entirely due to his demeaning tone, undermining his potential influence. Complex issues like dating market dynamics are reduced to sound bites, neglecting structural factors like economic instability or shifting gender norms. A recurring theme in Samuel's work is the valorization of traditionalism. Specifically, the idea that women must embody certain feminine virtues to attract and retain high-value men. This perspective warrants scrutiny. Traditional gender roles emerged in agrarian societies where survival depended on strict divisions of labor. Their applicability to today's knowledge economy is questionable. Not all societies emphasize the same gender norms. Many Nordic countries, for instance, thrive with highly egalitarian relationships. Samuels often criticizes career-focused women for neglecting domestic roles, yet fails to address why men shouldn't equally adapt to dual income realities. While traditionalism offers stability, its insistence on rigid roles may be incompatible with the diverse aspirations of modern individuals. The woman's claim that men are addicted to sex conflates biological predisposition with social conditioning. Young men experience peak testosterone levels, naturally inclining them toward higher sexual activity. Evolutionary psychology suggests men are wired to seek multiple partners to maximize reproductive success. However, culture amplifies or tempers these impulses. The ubiquity of hardcore porn has distorted expectations of sex, fostering impatience with real-world intimacy. Platforms like Tinder gamify attraction, encouraging a swipe mentality where people become disposable. The decline of courtship isn't solely men's fault. It's a systemic issue. With rising costs of living, many young men delay marriage because they can't afford to be providers. High divorce rates and alimony laws make marriage a precarious investment for men. While empowering women economically, the movement inadvertently removed incentives for men to commit, as women no longer need marriage for survival. Women often view sex as a gateway to emotional connection, whereas men can compartmentalize physical and emotional intimacy. This disconnect fuels frustration. If he sleeps with me, he must care. Sex is fun, but commitment requires more. Trame? Media has commercialized romance, reducing relationships to exchanges of value. Women trade youth-style beauty for financial security. Men trade resources for access to attractive partners. This marketplace mentality depersonalizes dating, making genuine connection rare. Kevin Samuels' emphasis on personal accountability is necessary in an era of victim mentality. Not everyone can attract top-tier partners without commensurate effort. He ignores how wage stagnation and student debt impact young men's ability to commit. His traditionalist prescriptions don't account for women who thrive in egalitarian partnerships. Prioritize slow dating over hookup culture. Acknowledge biological differences while striving for mutual respect. Young adults need guidance from older generations on navigating relationships. Kevin Samuels' video exposes genuine fissures in modern dating, but his abrasive delivery often obscures the nuanced solutions needed. The path forward requires empathy, adaptability, and a collective willingness to move beyond blame. Only then can we bridge the growing divide between the sexes and foster relationships built on trust rather than transaction. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, so be sure to leave a comment down below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified whenever we upload more content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.